Hi everybody, this is Jason Fisher from timeandfreedom.com here to do a review on a company called Enagic. And I feel that I have the authority to do this type of review because I've made millions of dollars in the home-based business industry. I had 5,000 individuals in a company that dwindled down to 56 people. And now I've got 5,000 folks that are active with a 96% reorder rate, really being able to create lifelong residual income. And I want to talk to you today about this company, Enagic. And you might be here because you're just trying to find out information about the business opportunity and if it's a good business to either make some either part-time income or significant income for you and your family. Or you're here because maybe you've been involved with the company for a while and you're finding it hard to really have long-term residual income. We're going to talk about some of the problems that I believe that the business model might have, and also talk a little bit about some of the advantages. First of all, the product is amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. It is alkaline water, and that's not the issue, but what I see to be the problem possibly, and a lot of people have seen this too, is the residual aspect of the business. So I want to share something with you because I believe that our credibility is worth everything, and picking the right company is the most important thing that we can do before we throw our time, energy, and reputation into something, because that is the most valuable thing that we have, is our name and our reputation. And after everything fell apart, and I had 56 people at the end of my journey after 12 years, and I believe that what I'm about to share with you is what a lot of industry leaders would love to know. And if you're an industry leader listening to this, this is going to make common sense to you, and I'm excited to share this with you because after everything fell apart, myself and a few other of my industry leader friends at that point, we got together and we said, you know what, if we're going to throw our time and energy and reputation into something one more time, we better make sure that this universal principle is applied correctly. Because if it's applied correctly, there's massive success and lots of residual income. And if it's applied incorrectly, there's massive failure and there's not really any residual income. And that universal principle is called the 80-20 rule. And many of you have heard of it. 80% of people don't do much while 20% of people do something, or 80% of the money is earned by 20% of the people. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. You could take 10 doctors or 10 lawyers or 10 chiropractors or 10 cab drivers. 2 are going to shine and 8 aren't going to do too much. And that's typical in any industry, in any country. It's a universal principle. It can't be broken. And in the home-based business industry, that's a pretty typical stat. 80% of the people do nothing while 20% of the people do something. Well, what I finally realized is if in order for these businesses to work, we need the 80s. We need a business for the masses. These type of businesses are built on numbers. Whoever has the most orders equals the most residual income. The question is there a difference between business model to business model? And I'm here to tell you there is quite a difference. Because the business model I was in, I had 5,000 down to 56. I had a complete 20%er deal. I didn't have anything for the 80%ers. I really call it the 95-5% deal. I think the 80-20 is talking too high on the 20%er deal. I think it's more like a 5%er deal because the only people you have actively ordering are the 5%ers at the end of any type of MLM stint, unfortunately, to speak about. And we can show those numbers because 5 to 11% of any company's sales are within the United States, or for any country for that matter. There are only 5 to 11% of an MLM sales is in any one country or continent because nobody stays buying the products long term. So I said to myself, if I'm going to throw my time and energy, I better go find something that the 80s can do. Well, who are the 80s? That's my brother, my sister, my next door neighbor. Someone that doesn't have a lot of sales experience, tenacity, or drive. They're not good at handling rejection. And they're definitely not good at justifying overpriced products or services in the marketplace that people never really bought before. Yeah, the 20%ers can do that. The 5%ers and the 20%ers can sell $4,000 or $5,000 Enagic machines. They sure can do that, but can the 80%ers? I would beg to say no. Most 80%ers can't spend $4,000 to $5,000 on a water filtration system. That by far none. It's amazing. Alkaline water, a lot of proven benefits to your health. But from a business model standpoint, hard. You know, it's a complete 20%er deal. The only people that can justify the product are the 20%ers. The compensation plan was written for the 20%ers. No end mind in thought of the 80%ers when they created that business model. So all of a sudden, the clouds parted and the problems and the solution to not only Enagic, but really this entire industry became very clear. And that's that all these products, all these companies have great products, phenomenal products. But they all seem to do something that breaks that universal principle, that 80-20 rule. And that is they start creating products. They create water filtration systems that 90 to 120 days into the program, or any MLM for that company, in fact, when the person shows their face as the 80%er and they have a hard time justifying either $100 to $300 a month auto ships or $4,000 to $5,000 alkaline water machines, what's the first thing they do? Not only do they quit the business, but they quit in that business referring people, because there's really no residual income in Enagic. You're earning commissionable income every time a machine is sold. You're earning override income every time one of your reps in your organization sell a machine, but there's no residual income. The only residual income in Enagic is the reorder of the filter for the machine, which you hardly earn anything. You would literally need to have tens of thousands and thousands of people ordering their filters every year just to somewhat make some residual income. So it's really just all override income. The minute people stop referring people is this day you stop earning income. And all of a sudden, to me, it became very clear, because when you look at the landscape of all these companies out there, they're really all built for the 20%ers. And I said to myself, I got to go find something for the 80s. And if I'm going to throw my time and energy and reputation as something else, I need to have two things that are very apparent. I need the 80-20 principle in place. And number one, I need to find a business for the 80%ers that they can do, that they can make income with, and that whether they made money or not in the business, it still made sense for them to be a long-term customer. Now in that business, it's people buying the machines. Referring the machines, and then getting their filter every year or 6 months, whatever the filter, whatever the re-up is on that. But most people are going to find it difficult. If you want residual income, just understand this, there has to be a monthly consumption of a product or a service in demand at a very high rate of people reordering. Otherwise, you don't have residual income. Whether anybody in my organization right now referred someone else, I'd still have 96% of the customers reordering every month. That is a true residual income business, when you have a true residual consumption of a product or a service. So if you're happy with Enagic, continue to build the business. If you're okay with override income but no residual income, continue to build that business. It's just a matter of what game that you want to play. But if you're looking for a true long-term residual business, I will tell you that myself and a few other industry leaders at the time, and now hundreds and thousands, have now deemed to be involved with the only business that has created residual income after 33 years. That took us 19 years to get to 500 million in net growth. 8 years later, another 500. 4 years later, another 500 million in net growth. And in the last 16 months, we've done what took us 19 years to do in the last 16 months alone. We are the largest direct sales company in the United States, and the fastest growing nationally, and the fastest growing internationally, all in our 33rd year. It's never happened right now where you've got a seasoned company that's growing faster than a startup company. Now the question is why? Why is that happening? If you're using some common sense in a decision-making process when it comes to the home-based business industry, here's what you need to think of. Number one is you need consumable products for all. Products that people have to buy, have to use, and have to reorder every single month. It's not a niche product. It's not a new buying habit. It's not something that you have to sell someone on a new need. It's have to buy products. But the have to buy products which it has to be everything outside of paper goods and foods for the fridge. It has to be pure necessity, things that people are buying and using up every single month. You have to make them more green and organic. If they're not better than the stores that people are shopping at, they're not going to stay as your long-term customer. But here's point two. They've got to be considerably priced less than other leading products in the marketplace. And preferably, it's got to be priced at Walmart or below price point for even toxic products. So if you could have better, more natural products, necessity things that people have to buy that are priced below grocery store brand products, then you're going to keep customers for a lifetime. And here's point three. Make sure that the monthly partnership with the manufacturer is not asking anybody to buy more products than they would normally consume of on a monthly basis. If you have everyday necessities that people have to buy at a better price point than when they're buying at, and you're asking people to just switch stores and not buy more, which is the internal problem in the home-based business arena, where they're asking you to buy $100 or $200 a month of auto ship products that are overpriced that people would never buy long term. If you can fix that issue and have it down to the point where it even makes sense for a single family home to be a customer buying month in and month out, where they don't have to do any more than be a consumer to be commissionable, then you have a phenomenal, phenomenal business in front of you. I would love to have the opportunity of sharing that business model with you. If you click the link below, I will walk you through the business model that myself and many other industries and industry leaders and thousands now from when I started have deemed to be the only business model that has ever successfully created lifelong residual income with a 96% reorder rate. And it is absolutely the most amazing thing that I've ever heard. If you're looking to build a business to last a lifetime rather than a lunchtime, I think that this will be the most profound information that you've ever heard. What you just heard before is industry leaders haven't even talked about this, nor do any of them really get this concept. They might have thought about some of the issues, but this hopefully has clarified it if you are an industry leader. And if you're not an industry leader, if you're brand new to the industry, this might be the video that just changed your life, that you just watched just now. Because if you have these principles in place and you have a business for the 80s, you can keep a lot of people active and have a business that can last a lifetime instead of a lunchtime. Thanks for spending a moment with me. Click the link below to find the business model we're in. Again, this is Jason Fisher from timeandfreedom.com. Have a great day.